Hello friends, my name is Adi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to show you how to extract London Stock Exchange market data using Python. In this, I will be using two libraries, BeautifulSoup and Pandas. Due to complexity and make the series a more complete solution, I plan to do this in three parts. In part 1, we will be extracting the data. In part 2, we will enhance the data. In part 3, I will show you how to automate your day-to-day task of data extraction in Python environment. Let's get started. I'll be using Visual Studio Code, VS Code editor. In this, I have created a folder called LSC, and there is nothing, just some debug logs that VS Code or adds automatic. So let me go and add a let me delete this already. I tried, so we start from scratch. Okay, so I'm going to add so the folder is LSC. I'm going to add a new file, so let us call this as lsc.py, and how we are going to approach this is we will be importing our libraries, then we will create a class, then execute. These are the three steps we are going to follow. First, let us do the import. The imports are, just to save time, I am just cut and paste, and we'll walk through the imports. The Pandas is the library, Python library. Typing is the text library that we may be using somewhere in our code. This BS4, this is BeautifulSoup, and URL lib is to open the URL that we are going to scrap. Sorry, it was my phone. So let us first define a class, and I'm going to let's call this class as LSC. So what we need in this, first of all, we need a URL, right, to scrap. So let me copy the URL. We'll take one step at a time, that's why I'm copying the code, so one by one. So the URL is of the site we are going to scrap is like this. So let us have a quick look about how this site is first of all, before we jump into scrapping our page. So I'm opening in Chrome. As you can see, this is the price and markets data of London Stock Exchange. Okay, and we have different categories, I'm going into this instrument type, and in this I'm focusing on the ETF. You can change whichever data you want with the URL. So in our case I'm going with this ETF, and our focus is this one, this table. So this table has, these are the column heads: code name, currency, market cap, price, net variation and change, and the type. Other two columns I am ignoring, you can get them. So we start with this, the highlighted one, and to get the headings for our tabular data, then we scrap this one, the body, to get the data within this. I'm going to just scrap only one page as of now. This page has 20 rows, I believe. Yeah, 20 showing, and total 3398. I will show you how to get that as well at some point, maybe in the concluding final videos, where we'll be doing some finishing touches to our work. So as I said, there are two tasks. One is the head and the detail. So I will be if I right click and inspect, so for each column as a class, mostly I'll be using the class name. So we will come back to this when we start coding, so that will be more helpful than going through all in one go. Let's switch back to the code window. So as I said, here I'm going to have two arrays. So column head, and I am initializing this to empty. In the same way, I am going to have a data. This is once again I am setting it to blank. So let us do some init method. A constructor for our, I'm not getting that. This intelligence is okay. I need to put diff because it's a constructor method. So diff, then if I say init here, so this is by default we got this code. So here what happens, I'm going to pass the URL, right? And here what we will do is we can initialize this. So this self.url, I don't know we need this. Let me initialize it. Then what happens, we need to get the request object. So to save time once again, so let me get all of this. So don't worry, it is an alignment problem. So I am getting the response object that is going into URL. By opening the URL we get the response. Then we use BeautifulSoup to process that. So we use LXML. Then I call two methods in this, which I am going to define shortly. Okay, so then finally we will have one more method I will show you later. So we have another method, div get column head. So this we can say self, that's all I need. Again we pass here. So first we will define all our methods, then div get column get data. This again we will use a self method and we pass again. I will complete first the code semantic. Then we will have export to say CSV. The idea is first we will construct create a data frame from the scrap data. Then we will create a data frame, so the scrap data will go into these two objects. Okay, then we will be using this export to CSV, and the execution phase is like this. So I am going to create a class LSE okay, then we will call this LSE dot so that is our final bit. So if you look at this, we got a URL, we have a class. The class constructs the column head and data from the URL given, and finally we export. So it's time to complete our export process. So in this we have already imported data frame. So I'm going to create we have imported the data pandas, so which is a data frame. So df equals I think we should use the PD that is how we alias PD dot data frame. So I am passing two parameters. One is my data, the other is I'm going to pass the columns equals, that is our column head. So we are getting scroll. Okay, we need to use self dot data. Yes, so columns equals again self dot columnhead. So then I can say print df. Okay, we'll stick to that. We will export later when we got all the things right. So we got the things set up now correctly. Let's go to the column head. Column head is our this. We are going to get this all these headings. So for that, let me grab the code. We will copy this first, then we will walk through. This is just 3 lines of code. Here what I'm doing is we have a soup object already created, so that is self.soup. From that object I am doing the select. The select is of this class. Let's go and exact span indented clickable. If you look at this, so this is our column, but before that, okay, let us, yeah, you can see indented clickable. So let me choose this element. So indented clickable, that's what we are using. So it is basically once again a span. It's basically a span tag with the class indented.clickable. .indented.clickable. That is what we got here. So then what happens, we iterate through all of the span within this. If you look at here, we got number of span elements, that is all the headings, the everything in the t-head. So there is a t-head, then tr, then in the tr, within tr we got number of you can see all of this. So here that is what I'm doing. So we have defined already the column head, initialized. This is our column head. So here I am doing this for loop and adding all of the headings. So within the span I am getting the inner text. So that constitutes our column heading. And okay, then we are going to get our, before jumping to the next step, let us so at this point we will not do the, so here before this what we will do is we will just print column head. So that is going to be okay, it is, I'm doing this just to debug. In VS Code we can simply debug. You can say run, start debugging, then Python file, current active Python file. Let's see whether we get this. Okay, we haven't passed the URL. So because this constructor expects one parameter, so we are passing that parameter. Now let's run again. Cool. You can see we got an array with column names. That is our expectation, excluding this related news and these things. So we got it correctly. Now we are one step ahead. We achieved one of our goal. Let me close this one. Then we are going to complete our get data phase. Once that is done, then so let me copy this code. So before that, so as in extracting this data phase, I need to do the code reuse. So for that I'm going to, so the idea is we got a table, we are going to iterate through cells in the table. So I need to get the inner text and strip that. So rather than typing this again and again for each cell, I am using the method, get cell method. That for that we will pass the HTML for that cell, and we indicate this is a class. So it is this method's responsibility to go and get us the value. So this is a very key method, essential method in this effort. So here you can see cell value I'm defining as none, and I'm trying to get HTML select. For some reason, if the object is not there, we don't want to get into this code to avoid any errors. In case if it is not finding the object, we are going to return this none. Otherwise, if found, we get the exact thing value inside this. So the final bit of code is this one. Let me okay, this is same as the get head and column head. So here what happens, we are getting a table, okay, that we are selecting the table with tr, price explorer results, t-body tr. So let's go to that. Suppose if I click on this thing, we can use the select object. Sorry, it is refreshing, I think. we have this T body, okay, and we are selecting this, and the T body we are selecting, yeah, this is the ID, Price Explorer Results Wrapper. That is what I used here, Price Explorer Results Wrapper. So this is the ID of that div. This is ID of the table, sorry, this is a table ID. Within that table I'm taking the T body and TR. So intent what I get is a collection, it's a table row collection. So intent what happens, I iterate for each TR, for TR in table, that is our data table. Then I construct one array because we are going to get all column values. So I made a row array that is blank when we start. Then what happened, I had all of the columns. So in each TR we have different classes that corresponds to the columns. Blue text, black link, instrument currency. I will show you some of these. So first let's go to blue text. So this is a class, yes, TR, that is a current row, and we say get cell. So the resulting HTML from this self.get, and this is being, sorry, the TR and the class is being passed. So in our case actually we are passing the row HTML, okay, then the class name is being passed. Suppose let's look for blue head. So here we have, sorry, what was that, blue text. So here if you go there in the, this is our T8 T body, and if you come down here, clickable instrument, somewhere you will find that it keeps refreshing. Okay, I think we can do somewhat better this. What I will do is, let's go into the debug mode. Okay, let's print a TR. And run this code. Okay, we got a lot of things. So to get what is in the TR, what we can do is, let us do the piping. So this is our program name, and I'm going to pipe this to tr.htm. Okay, it looks I have put somewhere else this. Okay, I have created this outside. Okay, we are sorry, it went into the, so this is empty because, so now it is outside. Still we should be able to run, I believe. Okay. Okay, so let us do pipe this. Okay, minimize this. Yeah, cool, we got it here. This is much better. So we got the column headings down. Never mind, we are going to adjust that. And this is our, we don't need even all of the trias. So let me get rid of completely everything, and let's format the document. Cool, it's much better, much better. So our idea is to get this CG1. Okay, that is our goal. So this is a text under the anchor tag href. If you look at the class, it has a, there is additional class dash link that is not required for us. So blue text, this is our class. In the same way, next column, if you go down here, so this is another anchor tag. In this class is black link. We are not cared about ellipse and dash links, so I think that is what I used here. Yes, black link, blue text. Okay, and the third column, if we look at, black link we have seen, this is instrument currency, and this is market capitalization, and this is instrument loss price. So that is what I have used here, instrument loss price. So the same way, I got all the base primary job was to identify the class name, then iterate through the table row, and at the end we get this. So in the self method itself, we are calling this get data. So by running this, at this point we should have our table ready. So here we can print our, so we don't need this print now, the one I printed in there. So this, we don't need this. Sorry. Here let us print our data. So again I need to use self. Let's run and see what happens now. Run from here. We'll not do any piping now. Okay, I think we are getting that. This is one. This is our so let us do piping and see if that. Okay, here also nothing new we got, same thing. So let us break this down. Okay, this is our first row, second row, third row, I don't know whether we can format this. Oh, wow, that is better. Anyway, we are getting the data, I think. So let's just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And type is CTF. The last column is CTF. So I think we got everything we need. Now let us complete our. So we don't print anymore this. So let me comment this, TF, then we print this one. Okay, let's run and see now what happens. Cool. This is what our objective. So we got 19, but since it started with 0, okay, so it has ended at 19. Let us check few bits. So maybe this data might have changed even. So first one, the change was 1.24. Yes, let us check the last one, 0.61%. Yes, so the above one is 1.42. So let's check this -1, CAGG minus 18.04 CAGG. Okay, this is 0.4 because it is not showing everything we can, but we have, it has put dot because of the short form. Number of columns are more in the data frame. So now what we can do is we can create our CSV file. We don't, data frame we need, so we don't need this now. We don't need this. Instead of print, see, we don't have any. So we are going to save this data frame to CSV, and let us call this lsc.csv. So we are saving this to CSV file, and now I think we should get this CSV file created in the same folder. Let's give it a try now by running this code. Start debug. Okay, I might have made some mistake. So yes, I need to give this within quotes, isn't it? Okay, this time no error. Let's switch back to, yes, we got our CSV file. That's it for today's video in part 1. Hope though it was a bit of tinkering, I was switching from the browser to code window. It's a bit of complex task getting this, but ultimately we got it working, and I hope you enjoy this video. Please do subscribe and motivate me so that I will be coming up with more videos. In this series, as I said initially, there will be 2 more parts. The second part will be enhancing. Enhancing will involve paging and identifying the totals and that sort of thing. And in the final part, I will show you that is very crucial for any data science project, the way of automating things that saves your time. Once again, thanks for your time. Take care. Bye.